I'm excited for this one. You know how there are certain directors where the second you hear that they have a new movie coming out, you don't even need to really understand or hear the plot line and know what it's about, right? Because you are already interested in it. Well, I think Christopher Nolan ticks that box, and he is definitely one of those directors. Because whether it's The Dark Knight, right? The trilogy of The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar, how about Dunkirk or Oppenheimer? Look at all these films on here. I mean, he has built a reputation for making movies that people don't just watch, they experience. They're kind of like films that everybody is talking about on Monday morning, so you better catch it on a Friday. That's a crazy lineup of films to attach your name to. That you had, like, not, maybe you wrote it, maybe you just directed, whatever it may be. That is a list right there. Inception, it's on my list to go back and rewatch. I haven't seen it in years, but I need to check it out again. So we're talking about Christopher Nolan. And guys, after Oppenheimer became a global phenomenon, and it actually earned him his first Academy Award for Best Director, believe it or not, there has been so much anticipation just surrounding what he would do next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over because his newest film called The Odyssey, well, it is hitting theaters this weekend. Now, this story has actually been around for nearly 3,000 years. Let me say that again. 3,000 years, not 300, 3,000 years. It is based on Homer's famous Greek epic, which has been read in schools and studied for generations. But leave it to Christopher Nolan to take one of the oldest stories ever told and turn it into one of the biggest movie events of the entire year. And that's why everyone's excited. So let's get into it. So Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, who's the legendary king of Ithaca, whose journey home after the Trojan War should have taken weeks, but instead, well, it stretches into, I don't know, just like a grueling 10-year adventure. Let's pause right there. You go from, it's supposed to take weeks, right? Maybe 5, 10. Okay, let's put 15 if you're sightseeing. 10 years? How does a weeks-long adventure go into 10 years? That's the mind-blowing part, and that's what the story's about. So along the way, he faces mythical creatures. He faces powerful gods, deadly storms, impossible temptations, and challenge after challenge, all while his family is back home, and they are just left wondering if he will ever make it back alive. Yeah, I would be wondering that too if I was the family. Here's some of the trailer.
After years of war, no one could stand between my men and home. Not even me.
You see those shots? This looks right up my alley. I'm so excited. And as you guys saw in the trailer, the cast here, yeah, it's kind of out of this world. It honestly just reads like a who's who of Hollywood, because alongside Matt Damon, you've got, look at this list, guys, Tom Holland, you have Zendaya, you have Anne Hathaway, you have Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, John Berthon, Mia Goth, Benny Safdie, and more. I mean, the list goes on and on. It is one of those movies where every single time a new trailer or a poster comes out, fans just keep saying, wait, they're in it too? Wait, hang on, what? right? And that's kind of become part of the excitement because almost every single major character is played by somebody that audiences already know and love.
Let's review who's playing who in the new Odyssey adaptation. Odysseus. He is the king of Ithaca, and he is played by the gorgeous, incomparable Matt Damon. Penelope is the queen of Ithaca, and she is being played by Anne Hathaway. Telemachus is the cutie patootie son of Odysseus and Penelope, all played by Tom Holland. Zendaya is playing Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Sea nymph Calypso, and she is played by Charlize Theron. This is literally perfect. Robert Pattinson is trying to move in on a married woman. This is Antinous. He is coming for the throne of Ithaca.
I think I want them to break down every cast lineup for every film, just like this. It's just perfect. Good job, ladies. Now, the fun has not stopped now that filming is over for the cast either, because the cast, they actually have been making the rounds, of course, just promoting the movie. And some of the funniest interactions and moments have actually come from just watching them play different games together and seeing the chemistry that they built on set. Check out just one of them.
Would you rather always talk like you're in a rap battle or like an ancient Greek poet?
Coming over
Wait,
here.
which one's which?
Rap battle.
Yeah. I'm gonna go poet because I'm terrible at rapping.
Well, you wouldn't be now.
Wouldn't be.
But you didn't say a good rapper.
Okay, that's right.
We're thinking like, you know, Eminem, Kendrick over here. You know, like we're like, yeah.
In that case.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I can pull it off. I think this is more my lane, you guys.
This is exactly what happened in school.
It hurts, but I keep it honest.
I love it. And I think they ended up in the right spots right there. Now, here's what I think really just makes this movie even cooler. Christopher Nolan has never actually been a fan of relying heavily on CGI. And you know that he took that philosophy even further with the Odyssey, because instead of creating these incredible landscapes on a computer, the cast and the crew, they actually traveled across Greece, Italy, Iceland, Morocco, Scotland, and Malta in order to film in real locations. I mean, they climbed mountains, they filmed on coastlines, and they even shot scenes on massive ships in open water. It's wild.
The Odyssey is a massive story. That's a really exciting challenge to take on.
This is definitely the biggest movie that I've ever done in my career. It feels like we made 6 or 7 movies, and in a sense we did. Every single kind of chapter of this adventure was at a different location that posed a different challenge.
You just know that the locations when you're telling a story like this are going to be like characters unto themselves, so they have to be extra special. And so we found ourselves in these really amazing places.
There are parts of the world that I don't think I would even have ever seen or known about had it not been for this experience.
Yeah, what an experience it is. What a cool job, right? You get to travel for your job, see all these places, being in a film. I mean, being an actor and actress, that's why everyone wants to do it. In fact, guys, this became the first feature film ever shot entirely with IMAX film cameras, which just sounds amazing until you realize that those cameras are enormous and incredibly difficult to move. So the production basically brought some of the biggest cameras in Hollywood to some of the toughest filming locations imaginable. Because, I don't know, Christopher Nolan just wanted audiences to feel every wave, to feel every storm, and every single moment of the journey.
Most any other film would do this on a computer.
Yeah, the standard practice is to do this on a computer. We've never done that. We've stuck to the photochemical timing so that we can get the full benefit of all the information that's stored on the original negative. So it has analog color, which means infinite gradations of color. It's not broken into a series of numbers. What you get is the benefit of the closest sort of technological analog that's ever been created for how the eye sees. So film sees very much the way the eye sees, and particularly the way it sees color, the way it sees grays and blacks and whites and everything.
But that's what makes it so difficult to film too, is how realistic they're trying to get it. Yeah, that tech, it's a process to say the least. But how cool to be able to see that in IMAX. And I mean, the excitement just surrounding this movie really has honestly been unlike anything that we have seen in a while, because IMAX tickets, do you know that they actually went on sale a full year before the movie was released? Last summer, we're talking. And many of those screenings, I mean, they sold out almost immediately. That is how much confidence both the studio and moviegoers had that this would be a true big screen event.
Welcome
to the Odyssey.
magnitude of this film is bigger than I could have ever imagined. I'm excited tonight to see history happen.
So excited for the world to see this. It was really the opportunity of a lifetime.
Miss wrote a beautiful script. It's the reason why we love going to the movies.
Does that not make you so excited? What a fun premiere too there. But yeah, guys, it comes out today. So if you are trying to decide what movie to see this weekend, I mean, this one might be the one that everybody is going to be talking about, because the Odyssey, it really looks like it's shaping up to be the biggest cinematic events, not just of the month, of the year. And you can see it today. That's if you can get your hands on a ticket. I would start looking now. I know it's still morning time, you still have time. Maybe if you can't get today, you can get it for Sunday, maybe do a matinee, but everybody's checking this one out, and it's definitely one to go and check out at the IMAX theater. I feel like if you are there kind of leaning back, you're surrounded by all of it, you could really feel like you're in those locations, which is really cool tech-wise. All right, guys, that's the Odyssey. Now let's move on to scoop number 2. And can we just talk about for a second how shark movies somehow never go out of style, even though I would like them to, because it doesn't seem to matter how many of them get made. Every summer, there's another one that has people saying, you know what? I don't know, maybe I'm gonna stay in the pool. Maybe I'm not gonna go into the ocean today. And the funny thing is, I mean, most of us know that the chances of actually running into a shark are incredibly small, but the second you can't see what's underneath you in the ocean, right? Your imagination just starts doing all the work for you. And probably because of this. Yeah, he's getting eaten by a shark, in case you can't tell. That's from Jaws. Thank you, Steven Spielberg, for that one, for ruining oceans, sharks, and summers for a lot of us, right? Well, guys, if you are looking for a movie that is going to make you think twice before your next beach vacation, this next one might do exactly that. It is called The Bay. That is right. And it takes what should be the trip of a lifetime, and it turns it into an absolute nightmare. So let's get into it. Best friends Emma and Lonnie, they head to Thailand for a destination wedding. Sounds fun, right? Well, and then they decide to book an eco tour where they can see tiger sharks in their natural habitat. Yeah, no, I would never sign up. You know what? Not gonna sign up for that one, but they wanted to, okay, to each their own, right? And at first, I mean, it just looks like one of those unforgettable experiences that you'd post all about over social media. But everything changes when a massive tiger shark attacks their boat, leaving the survivors stranded in the middle of the ocean on a single life raft, surrounded by hundreds of sharks with no way to call for help. Now, from that moment on, it becomes kind of a race against time as they battle the elements, they battle their own fear, and whatever might be swimming beneath them. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
I wanted to invite you both to a shark sanctuary.
Welcome to the Bay.
Oh my God.
There you go. Touch it. Reach out, reach out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second best part of our tour, the grand spectacle of Thailand. Cut the line! This is an emergency SOS.
What if they don't respond?
Once the water rises, we have to evacuate.
No. When are these characters gonna get smart in the films? This is why you don't say, you know what? I think I'm gonna go and feed some sharks in Thailand. Let's go on the smallest boat you can find. Let's put all of us on it and let's feed sharks raw meat. You know, nothing bad's gonna happen. Do they deserve it? No, maybe. I don't. Maybe this will just get us all thinking twice. And also, the guy who goes into the water to be the hero to try and say, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna last. I'm just saying. Now, yes, guys, there are going to be plenty of shark attacks in this movie, but director Phil Volkin, he has said that he actually wanted this to be more than just another creature feature, because at its core, it is really about survival, we can tell, and what happens when ordinary people are pushed to their absolute limits. Because who's gonna stay calm? Who's gonna panic? Me. Who steps up to lead? Well, those are the questions that the film actually explores while the danger keeps closing on in. So here he is just giving kind of a behind the scenes tour on the set of the film, just to make us remember and realize that, hey, this was fake, this wasn't real, everybody was safe behind the scenes. Check it out.
Here we go, day 2. Starting out on this workboat. The director's chair, what do you know? Here's tea.
Come on.
Yep. Camera. We're just about ready to. My man right here, Mandal. That's right.
Do it.
Yep. Dominic. What's up? What's up? What's up? Wise guy. Wise guy.
I really just hope there were no sharks actually in the water while you're filming the shark film. Maybe they heard about it, they wanted to come and check it out, see what all the hype was about. I'm glad they're all safe. They're up on the dock or they're on a boat, I think, that's gonna go out and film with the raft. Whatever it is they're doing, they look safe, so we can all breathe right now. Now, the production also went all in on making the setting feel authentic, right? Because even though the story takes place in Thailand, the movie was actually filmed in Hawaii, using its crystal clear waters and its dramatic coastline in order to create both the beauty and also the isolation of just being completely stranded at sea. And honestly, that's kind of what makes the trailer a little unsettling, right? Because it's not just the sharks, it really is the fact that these characters are completely alone. Like, there's no land in sight, there's no rescue boat coming, nowhere to escape without having to encounter sharks, right? You just have miles and miles of open water behind you in every direction. The only shore that you see kind of in front of you, there's sharks in front of you, and you're just like, what are we gonna do here? What's happening? And folks online are already saying that it could be good, could be bad, could be a little scary, but let's hear what some of them are saying.
You will never catch me in a scenario like this. No! Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. We have the trailer for a brand new shark horror movie called The Bay, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. As someone who has a fear of not just the ocean, I have thalassophobia, but I have a deep fear of sharks, this movie is an immediate no-no for me, but I will be watching. You can go ahead and make the excuse, you can go ahead and make the argument, yes, the ocean is the shark's home, and technically we're the one invading it, but still, I'm never gonna put myself in a situation where I'm even close to sharks. So the fact that these people decided to go out into the middle of the ocean with this rinky-dink boat and tempt the sharks by putting some meat in the water, putting some blood in the water, and having them come to them, you know, like, what are you thinking?
I don't know. That's my question too. I am right there with you, and I love that he says that he has a fear of the water, he's a fear of the sharks, but he's still gonna watch the film. I kind of get it too. So guys, if this one piques your interest, it hits theaters this weekend. If you are looking for a thrill, to say the least, there is your shark movie of the summer. All right, guys, now moving on to scoop number 3. So we are gonna go from one wild adventure to another, except this time we are gonna be swapping life rafts and sharks for castles and crowns in Wonderland. Yes, more up my alley as we head back into the world of Disney's hit Descendants franchise, because it's kind of hard to believe that the very first Descendants movie, it came out 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Now, for an entire generation, I mean, these were not just Disney Channel movies. They became a phenomenon, a true phenomenon, because the songs were everywhere. The dance routines, I mean, they took over social media, and kids could not wait to dress up as their favorite characters for Halloween.
Welcome to my wicked world, wicked world. I'm rotten to the core, rotten to the core. I'm rotten to the core. Who can ask for more? I'm nothing like the kid next, like the kid next door. I'm rotten to the core.
You gotta love a good Disney Channel sing-along. You gotta love it there. And I mean, Disney found a really fun way to really just bring its classic stories into a whole new generation by asking one simple question. What if the sons and daughters of our favorite heroes and villains, well, what about if they had stories of their own? Well, that story continues this weekend with the 5th film in the franchise being released called Descendants, Wicked Wonderland. So the story follows Red, who's the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, which you remember from Alice in Wonderland. And then Chloe, who you see on the right, who is Cinderella's daughter, who find themselves heading back to Wonderland after having a dangerous new threat that begins putting the kingdom at risk. So as they race to stop history from changing for the worse, they will encounter brand new descendants. They're gonna reunite with familiar Disney characters and discover that saving Wonderland is gonna take a lot more than they ever expected. Here's some of the trailer.
It's your show, princess.
It's not princess, it's just Red.
Look at this place.
Please don't eat any of our special friends.
Looks like a fun guy.
Tickety-tockety.
Chessie.
Care to join me for a game?
They'll learn to play by my rules.
To defeat a villain, we have to think like a villain.
It's such a great concept. Can we just say that? Yeah, how do you give life and breath to these Disney stories that have been told over and over again? Oh, let's talk about the next generation. Who are their kids? What's that like? Do they have trauma from their parents being villains, wanting to kill everybody? Or do they not? And are the heroes' kids, are they actually villains? Or are they heroes like their parents? I don't know. That's what Descendants asked. And that's why there have been 5 films. Now, part of what has made the franchise, I mean, just so successful is that it really just continues introducing brand new characters while still bringing back the ones that fans already love. And this time around, Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, they return as Red and Chloe, while Brandy, that is right, Brandy is reprising her role as Cinderella. And you know who else is back? Rita Ora as the Queen of Hearts. Here's a little bit more on the cast. Real fun stuff.
Thaddeus, and you're watching this.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and you're watching Disney Channel. Hello, I'm Rimani, and you're watching Disney Channel. Hi, I'm Kiara Romero, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Hi, I'm Alessandro, and you're watching Disney too.
Hi, I'm Julia, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Hi, I'm Thaddeus.
I love that. The classic, iconic Disney one. I think I'm doing it wrong. I think you got to do an ear and then another ear. Yeah, you get the gist there. But there is the cast. Now, it's also pretty incredible just to think about how much this franchise really has just grown over the last decade, because what started as just a Disney Channel original movie, which is already pretty rad in its own way. It's actually turned into 5 feature films. You've had animated specials, there have been books, there have been concerts, and a fan base that's grown up right alongside these characters. So now the next chapter is here, and you guys can catch it currently on Disney Plus because it aired on Disney Channel. I believe it was last night, and then today it is airing on Disney Plus. So that's how you can check it out for the whole family this weekend. All right, guys, now finally we are gonna end with a movie that really is just proving that inspiration can come from the most unexpected places. Because you know how every few years a hobby or an activity suddenly goes viral and everybody starts talking about it? Well, this weekend, the spotlight is on hobby horsing. And yes, it's a real competitive sport with athletes. There's championships and there's fans around the entire world. Here's hobby horsing in action.
I wanna dance in the lights. I wanna rock your body. I wanna go for a ride. Hop in the music and rock your body. I wanna dance in the lights. I wanna rock your body. I wanna go for a ride. Hop in.
You can truly make a competition out of anything, and I like it. That's sportsmanship, that's gameship. I like where their mind is at because whenever, especially when I was a kid, well, only when I was a kid, I don't think I've ever done it as an adult, but you see the horses on a head on a stick, and what are you supposed to do on it? You just like sit on it for a second as a kid. I didn't know you could make it into a whole competition, so brava to them. But yes, guys, this is a real thing. And it's exactly what our next movie dives into because the movie is actually called Horsegirls. And while the title itself might make you think that it's a comedy, it's actually a heartfelt coming-of-age story. So we meet Margarita, a 22-year-old autistic woman who is trying to navigate adulthood while caring for her mother after a cancer diagnosis. So feeling overwhelmed and unsure of where she belongs, she actually unexpectedly discovers the world of competitive hobby horsing. So what starts as something that's just completely outside of her comfort zone, well, it slowly becomes a place where she finds confidence, she finds friendship, and she finds a sense of purpose that she didn't even know that she was missing. Here's a little bit of the trailer for you guys to check out.
Go with her, please. Roger.
I thought his name was Hank.
What are you gonna do when I'm not here to help?
I'm an adult.
Start acting like one.
Ladies, we are officially competing in this year's sectional. 6, 7, 8, leap.
Oh my God.
Hey, walk it off, Red.
She's
You've no idea what it's like to watch people just pity her.
Are you scared?
I'm scared of leaving you behind.
Yeah, I should have told you guys to bring the tissues. I'm sorry, that's on me. I will take responsibility. This is definitely gonna be a tearjerker. I think you're gonna learn about a sport that a lot of us have no idea about, really, didn't really know this was a thing. And you're also gonna get this heartfelt story. You're gonna get coming of age. You're seeing something really sad taking place that so many people can relate to with a cancer diagnosis. I mean, this is gonna hit all the feels. I can already feel it. But guys, if you are sitting there wondering what hobby horsing actually is, yeah, you're not alone because what it does is competitors, they use hobby horses to complete jumping courses and perform choreographed routines. And while it might sound unusual at first, it has actually become a legitimate international sport with dedicated athletes who spend years and years training and competing for the big prize. Here's a little bit more on the sport for you guys to check out.
Hobby horsing is just it's just a bunch of girls that love horses.
Have you ever seen someone on a stick horse?
It's like that, but up a notch. Professional, we're doing meter hurdles, Grand Prix dressage tests. Everything that you would see on a real horse, we do with the hobby horses.
I can't believe it. I've never seen another hobby horser.
People just make fun of things what they don't understand. If you don't want to understand, it's not my loss.
I like
like it because I feel like it's unique and it's cool to be different sometimes.
You know, that last little girl that spoke, I agree with her. It is cool to be different sometimes, seriously. So bravo to her for having no shame, just saying, I like this, why not? And honestly, it's kind of just like doing track and field. You do hurdles in track and field, you run in track and field, except they're also holding on to something at the same time. So kids are getting outside, they're running, they're exercising. I am all here for it, why not? And that's really, guys, what makes this movie just so interesting, is that it's not really asking you to fall in love with the sport, even though you can start to respect it. It's asking you to understand why it means so much to the people who do. Because it's about finding your community, it's about embracing what makes you different, and realizing that sometimes the path that you never expected kind of ends up being exactly where you are meant to be. So if you've already seen the big blockbusters this weekend and you're kind of in the mood for something just a little more personal, Horsegirls, it might just be the hidden gem worth checking out. And guys, there you have it. So if you are looking for a reason to make a movie night happen this weekend, I'd say you've got a few good ones to add to the list. That's your Silver Scoop, and we're just gonna be back right after this.